The stars around Earth seemed to shimmer and bend. Then they disappeared. In their place, 50,000 massive ships blocked out the light. Each ship was the size of a small city, covered in dark metal and glowing red lights. Admiral Quan De Ho sat in his command chair on the bridge of the Soul's Pride. He was drinking his morning coffee when the alarm bells started ringing. His coffee mug hit the floor and broke. "Sir!" shouted Lieutenant Park from the communications station. "We have incoming ships, lots of them." Quan stood up and looked at the main screen. The enemy ships stretched across space like a dark cloud. He had never seen so many ships at once, but his face stayed calm. "How many?" Quan asked. 50,000, sir, maybe more. They're still coming out of their jump portals." Quan nodded. He pressed a button on his chair. "Captain Park So-min, report to the bridge." Captain Park So-min arrived in 2 minutes. She was the Earth Defense Fleet's best diplomat. She always tried to talk before fighting. "Sir, the alien ships are sending us a message," Lieutenant Park said. "Put it on screen," Quan ordered. The main screen showed a large alien creature. It had 4 arms, gray skin, and small black eyes. It wore a fancy uniform covered in gold medals. "Humans of Earth," the alien said in a deep voice. "I am General Mordock of the Great Vorthak Empire. We have conquered 847 star systems. Your small planet is now part of our empire." General Mordock smiled, showing sharp teeth. "You have 1 hour to surrender. Give us your leaders and your weapons. If you fight us, we will destroy your cities and take your people as slaves." The message ended. The bridge was quiet for a moment. "Well, that was rude," Captain Park So-min said. "Should I send a reply?" "Yes," Quan said. "Be polite." Park So-min sat at the communications station. She typed a message and sent it to the alien fleet. "Dear General Mordock," she said out loud as she typed, "thank you for your message. We appreciate your interest in Earth. However, we must politely ask you to leave our solar system. We do not wish to join your empire. Please go away." "Thank you." Captain Park So-min, Earth Defense Fleet. They waited. 5 minutes later, the alien general appeared on screen again. This time he looked angry. "Foolish humans," Mordock shouted. "You dare refuse the mighty Vorthak Empire? We have weapons that can crack planets. Our ships carry warriors who have never lost a battle. Our scanners show you have only 500 ships," Mordock continued. "We have 50,000. You cannot win. Surrender now, or we will show you the true power of the Vorthak." The message ended again. Admiral Quan looked at Captain Park. "Well, we tried talking." "Yes, sir, we did," Park replied. "Commander Lee Tae-wook," Quan called. A young officer stepped forward. "Are our 500 ships ready?" "Yes, sir," Lee said. "All captains are waiting for orders." Quan pressed another button on his chair. This one was red and had a clear cover over it. "Attention all ships," he said into his microphone. "The aliens will not listen to reason. Activate Protocol 7. I repeat, activate Protocol 7. Across the solar system, 500 Earth ships powered up their engines. They were smaller than the alien ships, but they moved much faster." General Mordock watched from his flagship. He saw the human ships coming toward his fleet. He laughed. "Look at them," he told his officers. "So few ships, so small. This will be easy." But something was wrong. The human ships were moving too fast. Mordock had never seen ships move that quickly. "Sir," one of his officers said, "the human ships, they're not slowing down." "Of course not," Mordock replied. "They're attacking." "Prepare our weapons." The Vorthak ships fired their energy cannons. Bright red beams shot toward the human ships. But the human ships simply moved out of the way. They twisted and turned like dancing birds. "How are they so fast?" Mordock asked. The human ships reached the Vorthak fleet. They fired their own weapons. Blue beams of light struck the alien ships. Where the blue light hit, the alien ships exploded. "Impossible!" Mordock shouted. "Our shields should stop those weapons." But the human weapons cut through Vorthak shields like they were made of paper. One by one, alien ships exploded in bright flashes. On the bridge of Soul's Pride, Admiral Quan watched the battle. It was not really a battle, it was more like a target practice session. Sir, Lieutenant Park said, we've destroyed 30,000 enemy ships. The rest are trying to run away. Let them go, Quan said. We don't need to kill them all. Commander Lee looked confused. Sir, shouldn't we stop them? They might come back. They will come back, Quan said. And when they do, they'll bring more ships. But that's okay, Captain Park So-min frowned. Admiral, why is that okay? Quan smiled. Because this was just our local patrol fleet. Wait until they see what happens when we actually try. In space, the surviving Vorthak ships jumped away as fast as they could. Only 3,000 ships escaped from the 50,000 that came to Earth. General, Mordok sat in his damaged command chair. His ship was barely flying. Half his crew was dead. His uniform was torn and dirty. General, his communications officer said with a shaky voice, Emperor Vexstar wants to speak with you. The screen showed Emperor Vexstar. He was even larger than Mordok, with golden skin and 6 arms. He looked very angry. Mordok! The Emperor shouted, What happened? You said this would be easy. My lord, Mordok said. The humans, they're not what we expected. Their ships are very advanced. Their weapons are powerful. How many ships did they have? The Emperor asked. 500, my lord. Just like our spies reported. Emperor Vexstar S grew wide. 500 ships destroyed 50,000 of ours? Yes, my lord, I'm sorry. We were not prepared for their technology. The Emperor was quiet for a long moment. Then he smiled an evil smile. So the humans used their entire fleet against us, he said. Good, now we know exactly how strong they are. Prepare the Grand Armada Mordok, all 500,000 ships. My lord? Mordok asked. If 500 human ships can fight 50,000 of ours, the Emperor said, then 500,000 of our ships will crush them completely. This time we will bring our full power. The humans will learn why the Vorthak Empire rules the galaxy. The communication ended. Mordok stared at the empty screen. He hoped the Emperor was right, but something in his heart told him that the humans had more surprises waiting. Behind him, a wounded officer whispered to another, what if that wasn't their full army? But Mordok didn't hear him. He was too busy planning for the next attack. Far away on Earth, Admiral Quan finished his second cup of coffee. He looked out the window of his office at the blue sky and white clouds. Beautiful day, he said to himself. Then he pressed a button on his desk. Commander Lee, please prepare a report for Earth Command. Tell them we had a small incident today. Nothing serious. He paused and smiled. Oh, and tell them the aliens will probably be back soon. We might need to use Protocol 12 next time. 3 months passed after the first attack. Earth looked peaceful. People went to work. Children played in parks. Nobody seemed worried about the aliens coming back. But deep in the mountains of Korea, Fleet Marshal Cho Min-ho watched the stars. Through his telescope, he knew the aliens would return. They always did. Sir, Lieutenant Colonel Yoon Hanuel said as she entered his office. Our deep space sensors are picking up something big. Cho put down his telescope and looked at her. How big? Very big, sir. Much bigger than last time. They walked to the command center. The room was full of computers and large screens. Dr. Kim Ji-won was already there, looking at data from the first battle. Marshal Cho, Dr. Kim said without looking up. I've been studying the alien technology we captured. It's interesting. Good. Interesting or bad interesting? Cho asked. Strange interesting, Dr. Kim replied. Their weapons are powerful, but their design is very old, like they haven't improved in hundreds of years. Lieutenant Colonel Yoon pointed at the main screen. Sir, look at this. The screen showed space around Earth, but this time the space was completely black. Ships covered everything like a thick blanket. How many? Cho asked quietly. 500,000 ships, sir, Yoon said. 10 times more than last time, Cho nodded slowly. So they brought their real army this time? On the leading Vorthak ship, Emperor Vexstar himself stood on the bridge. He was even more impressive in person, golden skin, 6 powerful arms, and eyes that glowed red with anger. Humans, he spoke into his communicator. I am Emperor Vexstar, ruler of the Vorthic Empire. Last time, you fought only a small scouting force. Now you face our Grand Armada, 500,000 ships of war. The Emperor smiled, showing teeth like sharp diamonds. You used all your ships last time? We know you have only 500. Vessels, surrender now, and we will let half your people live as our slaves. Back on Earth, the message played in the command center. Everyone was quiet. Should I answer him? Asked Captain Park So-min, who had been promoted after the last battle. Yes. Cho said, be polite again. Park typed her message. Dear Emperor Vexstar, thank you for visiting our solar system again. We are sorry you did not understand our first message. Please leave peacefully. We do not want to hurt anyone. We will give you 48 hours to think about it. Captain. Park So-min, Earth Defense Fleet. Emperor Vexstar read the message and laughed so loud that his whole ship shook. 48 hours, he told his generals. The humans want 48 hours. They think they can prepare their 500 little ships to fight our Grand Armada. His generals laughed too. They started planning how to divide Earth cities among themselves. But on Earth, Marshal Cho was not preparing 500 ships. He was making tea. Sir, Dr. Kim said, shouldn't we get our ships ready? They are ready, Cho replied calmly. They've been ready for months. But sir, the aliens have 500,000 ships this time. Cho smiled. I know. That's why we'll need to use Protocol 12. Dr. Kim looked confused. What's Protocol 12? You'll see, Cho said. The 48 hours passed slowly. Emperor Vexstar counted every minute. He couldn't wait to crush the humans who had embarrassed his empire. Time is up, he announced on all channels. Humans, you have chosen death over slavery. We will destroy your planet and everyone on it. The Vorthic fleet moved toward Earth. Like a giant metal storm, their ships blocked out the sun. Earth looked like a small blue dot surrounded by darkness. Sir, Lieutenant Colonel Yoon said to Marshal Cho. They're coming. I can see that, Cho replied. He pressed a button on his console. Attention Solar Defense Network. Activate Protocol 12. Suddenly, space around Earth lit up. Ships appeared from everywhere, behind the moon near Mars, around Jupiter, hidden in asteroid fields. They had been invisible until now. Emperor Vexstar stopped laughing. What is that? Sir, his officer said with a shaky voice, we count 5,000 human ships. They were hiding all around the solar system. 5,000? Vexstar said. But our spies said they only had 500. Maybe. Maybe. Those 500 ships were just their patrol fleet, sir. Vexstar's face turned from gold to dark red. Impossible. No one keeps 90% of their fleet hidden. But the humans did exactly that. The 5,000 ships moved like they were dancing. They were bigger than the patrol ships from the first battle, and much faster. The battle started. Vorthak ships fired their red energy beams, but the human ships moved like water, flowing around the attacks. Their blue weapons cut through alien armor like it was made of soft clay. How are they so fast? Vexstar shouted, how are their weapons so strong? Dr. Kim Ji-won watched the battle from Earth. She took notes on her computer. Interesting, she said. The aliens are using the same tactics as 3 months ago. They haven't learned anything. Should we tell them their weapons don't work on our ships? Asked Captain Park. No, Marshal Cho said. Let them figure it out themselves. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, 450,000 Vorthak ships were floating in space as broken metal. Only 50,000 ships survived, and most of those were badly damaged. Emperor Vexstar sat in his broken command chair. His golden skin was covered in cuts and burns. Half his ship's lights were not working. My lord, his communications officer whispered, we need to retreat. We cannot win. Retreat? Vexstar said, the mighty Vorthak Empire does not retreat. My lord, we have lost 90% of our Grand Armada. If we stay, they will destroy us all. Vexstar looked at the human ships on his screen. They were not even chasing the retreating Vorthak vessels. They just watched and waited. Fine, he said quietly. Signal retreat, all ships jump to hyperspace immediately. As the surviving Vortex ships prepared to flee, Admiral Zeekmore from the flagship Death's Hand sent a private message to his old friend Admiral Coulter. "Coulter," he said, "something is wrong here, very wrong." "What do you mean?" Coulter replied from his damaged ship. "Think about it. 3 months ago, they fought us with 500 ships. Today they used 5,000 ships. That's 10 times more. So where did those extra ships come from? Did they build 4,500 ships in 3 months? That's impossible." Coulter was quiet for a moment. Then he said something that made Zeekimmer's blood turn cold. What if those 5,000 ships weren't their real army either? The message ended. Both admirals stared at their screens as their ships jumped away from Earth. Back on Earth, Marshal Cho finished his tea. He looked out the window at the setting. "Son, sir," Dr. Kim said, "the aliens are gone? Should we chase them?" "No," Cho said. "They'll tell their friends about us." "Soon, more aliens will come." "More aliens, sir?" Cho smiled. "Oh yes, much more. They'll probably bring their friends next time. Maybe their whole alliance." Lieutenant Colonel Yoon looked worried. "Sir, what if they bring 1,000,000 ships?" "Then we'll have to use Protocol 15, Cho said. Calmly, "What's Protocol 15? Both women asked at the same time. Cho stood up and walked to the window. "The Terran Home Guard, of course. 50,000 ships." Dr. Kim and Yoon looked at each other with wide eyes. 50,000? Dr. Kim whispered. "That's just for defending Earth," Cho explained. "We haven't even talked about the colonial defense forces yet." Outside, the stars twinkled peacefully. Somewhere out there, the surviving aliens were spreading word about humanity's terrible power. But they still had no idea what they had really seen. On Earth, people went home from work. Children played in parks. Nobody seemed worried about aliens because nobody on Earth knew that they had just used less than 1% of humanity's real military strength. 6 months passed after the second battle. In the far corner of the galaxy, 4 great empires met for the first time in 1,000 years. The meeting took place on a neutral space station. Emperor Vexstar of the Vorthic Empire sat at a round table. Across from him sat 3 other rulers he had fought against for centuries. Empress Kira of the Kelleran Federation had blue skin and silver hair. Her people were known for their smart battle plans. King Zol of the Zephyrite Kingdom was covered in thick armor and had 4 eyes. His warriors never retreated from any fight. The strangest was Supreme Mind Nexus of the Nexari Collective. It looked like a floating brain inside a glass bubble. Its people shared thoughts and moved like one giant organism. "We are here for one reason," Emperor Vexstar said. "The humans must be stopped." "Your problem, Vexstar," Empress Kira said coldly. "You attacked them first? You lost your own ships?" "They destroyed 50,000 of my ships with only 500 of theirs," Vexstar replied. "Then they destroyed 450,000 more with 5,000 ships." King Zol laughed with a deep, rumbling sound. "You are weak, Vexstar. My armies would have crushed those humans." "That's what I thought too," Vexstar said quietly. "But their weapons cut through our strongest shields. Their ships move faster than anything we've ever seen." Supreme Mind Nexus spoke without moving. Its voice came from speakers around the room. "We have studied the battle recordings you provided. The humans fight with advanced technology. More advanced than any of us possess." The room became quiet. All 4 rulers understood what this meant. "If the humans decide to expand beyond their solar system," Empress Kira said slowly, "they will conquer us all. One at a time," King Zol added. "Just like we did to smaller civilizations." "That's why we must work together," Vexstar said. "For the first time in our history, we must join forces." On Earth, Major Shin Dongwu sat in a dark room filled with computer screens. He worked for Earth intelligence, watching what aliens did across the galaxy. "This is interesting," he said to his assistant. "The 4 big alien empires are talking to each other. That's never happened before, has it, sir?" His assistant asked. "Never. They usually fight each other more than anyone else." Major Shin pressed some buttons. New information appeared on his screens. Look at this. They're moving ships from all over the galaxy. Big ships. Lots of them. He picked up his phone and called Grand Admiral Song Jae-min. Sir, we have a situation. The aliens are forming an alliance. A big one. Grand Admiral Song was having lunch in his office when the call came. He was a calm man who never got excited about anything. But this news made him stop chewing. How big? He asked. 2 million ships, sir. Maybe more. Ships from 4 different empires, all coming toward our solar system. Song put down his sandwich. I see. Thank you, Major. Keep watching them. He hung up the phone and pressed a button on his desk. Captain Nam Yoo-jin, please report to my office. Captain Nam arrived in 5 minutes. She was young but very good at flying ships in dangerous places. Captain, I need you to take a small scout ship and get closer to the alien fleet. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with. Yes, sir. How close should I get? Close enough to count their ships, but don't let them see you. Captain Nam took her fastest scout ship and flew toward the edge of the solar system. What she saw there made her gasp. The alien fleet was enormous. Ships of 4 different designs filled space like a metal ocean. Some ships were long and thin, others were round like balls, and some looked like giant insects. She counted carefully. 2 million ships, all armed with weapons. All heading toward Earth. Grand Admiral, she said over her radio. They really mean business this time. I can see that, Captain. Come home. We need to prepare. But Captain Nam noticed something else. Sir, the aliens look ... scared. Their ships are flying very close together, like they're afraid to be alone. Scared of us? Song asked. Yes, sir. I think they're more afraid of us than we are of them. When the massive alien fleet reached Earth, they stopped far away. Much farther than the other 2 times, a message came from the fleet. This time all 4 alien leaders appeared on the screen together. Humans of Earth, Emperor Vexstar said. We are the combined Galactic Alliance. Our 4 empires have never worked together before, but you have forced us to unite. Empress Kira spoke next. You have proven that you are too dangerous to exist. Your technology is too advanced, your weapons are too powerful. King Zol's voice boomed. We offer you one chance. Stay in your solar system forever, never build more ships, never expand to other worlds. If you agree, we will not attack you. Supreme Mind Nexus finished the message. If you refuse, 2 million ships will destroy your world completely. You cannot fight all of us together. The message ended. Grand Admiral Song sat in his command center, surrounded by his officers. Everyone looked at him, waiting for orders. Well, he said calmly. That was rude. They didn't even say please. Sir, Major Shin said. 2 million ships is a lot of ships. Yes, it is, Song agreed. Captain Park, please send them our usual polite reply. Captain Park So-min, who had been promoted again after the last battle, typed the message. Dear Combined Galactic Alliance, thank you for your message. We understand your concerns, but we cannot accept your offer. We are peaceful people, but we will not be prisoners in our own solar system. Please reconsider your position. We do not want to fight you. Captain Park So-min, Earth Defense Fleet. The alien leaders read the message. Emperor Vexstar threw his chair across the room. Empress Kira screamed in anger. King Zol began sharpening his weapons. Supreme Mind Nexus calculated battle plans. They refuse. Vexstar shouted. Even against 2 million ships, they still refuse. Then we destroy them, Kira said. All of them, every last human. Back on Earth, Grand Admiral Song stood up from his chair. He walked to a special panel on the wall. This panel had a big red button marked Protocol 15. Sir, Major Shin said nervously. Are you sure? 50,000 ships against 2 million? Major, Song said with a small smile. Do you remember what happened when they brought 50,000 ships against our 500? Yes, sir, we destroyed them. And when they brought 500,000 against our 5,000? We destroyed them again, sir. Then what do you think will happen when they bring 2 million ships against our 50,000? Major Shin thought about it, then he smiled too. We'll destroy them again, sir, exactly. Song pressed the red button. All around the solar system, space began to shimmer. Hidden bases opened on asteroids, behind planets, and in empty space. 50,000 ships appeared, each one larger and more powerful than anything Earth had used before. These were not patrol ships or defense ships. These were the Terran Home Guard, humanity's real military force. The battle was different this time. The aliens had learned from their mistakes. They spread out their ships and used better tactics. They attacked from all directions at once, but it didn't matter. The human ships moved through space like they were alive. Their weapons were brighter and stronger than ever before. Where they struck, alien ships didn't just explode, they turned to dust. Emperor Vextar watched his alliance fall apart. Ships from all 4 empires burned in space around him. "This is impossible," he screamed. 2 million ships. How can 50,000 ships defeat 2 million? His science officer looked at his instruments with wide eyes. "Sir, each human ship is destroying 40 of our ships. 40. Their technology is not just better than ours, it's like magic." The battle lasted 12 hours. When it ended, the space around Earth was full of broken metal and floating debris. Less than 100,000 alien ships escaped. The 4 alien leaders met again on the same neutral station. But this time they were not angry, they were terrified. "We cannot fight them," Empress Kira whispered. "They are too strong." "How?" King Zol asked. "How can one small planet be so powerful?" "Maybe," Supreme Mind Nexus said slowly, "we have been thinking about this wrong." "What do you mean?" Vextar asked. "What if those 50,000 ships were not their full military either?" The room became very quiet. All 4 leaders looked at each other with fear in their eyes. On Earth, Grand Admiral Song finished his dinner and went to bed early. Tomorrow would be another day, and he was sure the aliens would try again, but next time, they would probably bring their friends from other galaxies. That's when Earth might finally have to use Protocol 20.50,000 ships had been fun. But 500,000 would be even better. The news spread across the galaxy like fire. From the smallest trading posts to the biggest space stations, everyone was talking about the same thing. Humans had destroyed the combined Galactic Alliance. In the Outer Rim territories. Old civilizations that had hidden for thousands of years began to wake up. Ancient empires that had been sleeping in deep space opened their eyes. Even the mysterious beings from other dimensions started to pay attention. All of them had the same thought. If humans could destroy 4 great empires at once, no one was safe. Supreme Commander Bei Hyun-woo stood on the observation deck of the space station New Seoul. He was watching Earth turn slowly below him. Beautiful blue oceans, white clouds, green forests. It looked so peaceful, but peace was about to end. "Sir," Colonel Oh Mi-young called from behind him, "you need to see this." Commander Bei turned around. Colonel Oh was in charge of the deep space monitoring stations. She looked worried. "What is it, Colonel?" "We're detecting massive fleet movements from 17 different sectors of the galaxy. Ships we've never seen before, technologies we don't recognize." They walked to the command center. The main screen showed a map of the galaxy. Red dots appeared everywhere, each dot representing alien fleets moving toward Earth. "How many ships?" "Total?" Bei asked. "We stopped counting at 10 million, sir. More arrive every hour." Commander Lim Seung-ho entered the room. He was Earth's top diplomat, the man who tried to make peace before wars started. "Sir," Lim said, "I've been trying to contact the alien fleets. I want to arrange a meeting, maybe find a peaceful solution." "Any luck?" Bei asked. "No, sir, they won't even answer my messages. They're too scared to talk." On the bridge of the alien flagship Galaxy's Last Hope, 17 different alien leaders sat around a holographic table. Each leader looked completely different from the others. There was Admiral Felfin of the Void Walkers, tall, thin beings, made of living shadow. Next to him sat Queen Morgana of the Crystal Empire. Her body was made of living diamond. General Kresh of the Metal Lords was a robot the size of a small building. The strangest was Elder Yuthagotha of the Old Ones. It looked like a giant octopus with too many eyes and tentacles that moved in ways that hurt to watch. "The humans must be stopped," Admiral Felton said with a voice like cold wind. Our spies report they are preparing to leave their solar system. Impossible, Queen Morgana replied, her diamond body flashing different colors. Our combined fleet has 10 million ships. Surely that is enough. General Kresh spoke with a voice like grinding metal. The Vorthik thought 50,000 ships would be enough. Then they thought 500,000 would work. Then 2 million ships from 4 empires failed. Elder Yithagotha's many eyes blinked slowly. What if the humans have been holding back? The other leaders looked at the ancient being with fear. Holding back? Queen Morgana asked. Think about it, Elder Yithagotha continued. Each time we attack with more ships, they respond with exactly enough ships to win. Never too many, never too few, always just enough. You think they're playing with us? Admiral Felton whispered. I think they're testing us, learning about us, watching to see what we're capable of. The room became very quiet. Back on Earth, Colonel O monitored the alien communications. She could hear their conversations through the advanced listening devices humanity had built. Sir, she told Commander Bay, the aliens are getting more scared? They think we're playing games with them. Are we? Bay asked with a small smile. I don't know, sir, are we? Commander Bay looked out at the stars. Colonel, what would you do if someone came to your home and demanded you stay locked in your house forever? I'd probably fight back, sir, even if they had 10 million friends with guns. Especially then, sir. Good answer. The alien fleet reached Earth's solar system after 2 weeks of travel. It was the largest military force in galactic history. Ships stretched from Mercury to Pluto, covering the entire solar system in metal. Commander Lim tried one more time to contact them. Dear leaders of the 17 civilizations, he broadcast. We know you are afraid of us, but we are not your enemy. We just want to live in peace and explore the galaxy like everyone else. Please, let's talk about this. The answer came from all 17 leaders speaking at the same time. Humans of Earth, we are the final alliance. Every major civilization in the galaxy has united against you. 10 million warships surround your system. Surrender now, or be destroyed forever. The message was so loud it shook windows on Earth. Commander Bay sighed. Well, we tried talking again. Yes, sir, Colonel O agreed. They really don't want to listen. Commander Lim, any final diplomatic options? No, sir, Lim replied sadly. They're too scared to think straight. Commander Bay walked to the wall where a large panel waited. This panel was different from the others. It was marked Protocol 20 and had not one button, but 5 buttons that had to be pressed at the same time. Sir, Colonel O said nervously. Protocol 20. That's the full Earth defense network, isn't it? 500,000 ships, Bay confirmed. Our entire planetary defense force against 10 million alien ships? Colonel, let me ask you something. What happened when 50 ships fought 50,000? We won, sir. When 5,000 fought 500,000? We won again, sir. When 50,000 fought 2 million? We won easily, sir. Then what do you think will happen when 500,000 fight 10 million? Colonel O thought about it for a moment. Then she smiled. We're going to win so hard they'll never bother us again. Exactly. Commander Bay placed his hand on the scanner next to the panel. The 5 buttons turned green. He pressed all 5 at the same time. Space around Earth exploded with light. From every planet, every moon, every asteroid, every hidden base, ships began to appear. Not hundreds or thousands, but hundreds of thousands. The ships were magnificent. Each one was as large as a city, covered in weapons that glowed with blue fire. They moved through space like living creatures, dancing between the alien vessels with impossible grace. The battle began at sunrise on Earth and lasted until the next sunrise. It was fought across the entire solar system. Ships crashed into Jupiter's moons. Explosions lit up Saturn's rings. The asteroid belt became a war zone, but it was not really a war. It was more like a lesson. The human ships moved through the alien fleet like sharks through a school of fish. Their weapons cut alien ships apart with surgical precision. When alien ships tried to run, the humans let them go. When alien ships surrendered, the humans accepted their surrender. Elder Yithagotha watched the battle from his flagship. His ancient mind, which had seen civilizations rise and fall for millions of years, finally understood the truth. "We have made a terrible mistake," he whispered to his officers. "What do you mean, Elder?" one of them asked. "The humans. They're not trying to conquer us. They never were. They just want us to leave them alone." "But Elder, they're destroying our fleets." "No," Elder Yithagotha said sadly. "We're destroying ourselves. Every time we attack them, they respond with exactly the force needed to stop us. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't understand. They could have destroyed us all on the first day, but instead, they've been trying to teach us a lesson. The lesson is simple: leave them alone, and they'll leave you alone." When the battle ended, only 1 million alien ships remained out of 10 million. The rest floated in space as scrap metal. The surviving alien leaders met one final time. But now they were not talking about attack plans. They were talking about survival. "We cannot win," Admiral Felthin admitted. "We must make peace." "How?" Queen Morgana asked. "How do you make peace with beings who can destroy 10 million ships with 500,000? "We surrender," General Kresh said simply. "We surrender completely and hope they are merciful." Elder Yithagotha nodded his ancient head. "Yes, and we pray that what we fought today was actually their full military strength." But deep in his heart, the old being feared it was not. On Earth, Commander Bay finished his morning coffee and looked at the reports from the battle. "Sir?" Colonel O asked quietly. "Do you think they'll try again?" "No," Bay said. "I think they finally got the message. And if they didn't?" Commander Bay smiled and looked out at the peaceful blue planet below. "Then we'll have to show them the Colonial Defense Forces." "How many ships is that, sir?" "About 5 million ships, Colonel. Give or take a few 100,000. Colonel O nearly dropped her coffee cup somewhere in space. The surviving aliens were fleeing back to their homeworlds, carrying a message that would echo across the galaxy forever. Do not wake the humans. Do not anger the humans. And whatever you do, do not attack the humans, because what they had seen was just the beginning. 1 year passed after the Great Battle of Seoul. Across the galaxy, things were very quiet. No one attacked anyone. No one started wars. Everyone was too scared to make noise, but the surviving alien leaders could not sleep. They had to know the truth about humanity. They had to understand what they had really fought against. Elder Yithagotha called a secret meeting. Only the smartest alien spies and scientists came. They met in a hidden space station at the edge of the galaxy. "We need answers," the ancient being said to the group. "Send your best spies to the human solar system. Learn everything you can about their military. But do not get caught. If the humans find you, we are all dead." Dr. Zhang Yunesio sat in her office on Earth, reading reports that made her laugh. She was a xenopsychologist, a person who studied how alien minds worked. "General Quan," she called to her assistant over the intercom, "you should see this. The aliens are sending spies to watch us." General Quan Junho entered her office. He was the head of Human Strategic Command, the department that planned all of humanity's military actions. "How many spies?" he asked. "About 200 from 12 different species. They're trying to be very sneaky. Should we catch them?" "Oh, no," Dr. Zhang said with a smile. "Let them watch. It will be educational for them." The alien spies were indeed trying to be sneaky. They hid in asteroid fields and behind moons. They used invisible ships and silent sensors. They thought they were very clever, but humanity's detection systems could find a whisper in a thunderstorm. Fleet. Admiral Choi Woo-sung stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Korea. He was the highest-ranking military officer in all of human space. When people talked about the human military, they were talking about ships under his command. "Admiral," his aide Captain Hong said, "the alien spies are getting close to Mars base." "Let them see it," Choi replied calmly. "They need to understand." 1. Of the alien spies was Commander Vash of the Shadow Fleet. He was considered the best spy in the galaxy. He had never been caught in 300 years of spying. Commander Vash pointed his sensors at Mars. What he saw there made his 3 hearts stop beating for a moment. Ships, thousands and thousands of ships. But these were not like the ships that had fought the final alliance. These ships were much bigger, much more advanced. And they all looked brand new. By the void, he whispered to himself. Where did they get all these ships? He recorded everything and sent the data back to Elder Yethagotha. Then he moved to Jupiter to spy some more. At Jupiter, he found even more ships. Huge construction yards building even bigger vessels. Robot factories working day and night. Millions of humans in uniform. But they all looked very young. Commander Vash was confused. Why did all the human soldiers look like children? Back at the secret alien meeting, Elder Yethagotha studied the spy reports with growing horror. This doesn't make sense, Admiral Felton said, reading the data. The humans have more ships now than they did during our battle, much more. How is that possible? Queen Morgana asked. Did they build all these ships in 1 year? No, Elder Yethagotha said slowly. I think these ships were always there, hidden, waiting. Dr. Jang received another report on her desk. This one was from the interrogation rooms where captured alien officers from previous battles were being questioned. General Quan, she called. You really need to hear this. General Quan came back to her office. Dr. Jang played a recording of her conversation with a captured Vorthak admiral. Please, the alien said on the recording, we surrender completely. But tell us ... how many ships do you really have? Why? Do you want to know? Dr. Jang's voice asked. Because we need to understand. When we first attacked with 50,000 ships, you used 500. When we brought 500,000, you used 5,000. When we brought 2 million, you used 50,000. When we brought 10 million, you used 500,000. Yes, that's correct. But why? Why didn't you use all your ships the first time and end it quickly? There was a long pause on the recording. Then Dr. Jang answered, because we didn't want to hurt anyone unnecessarily. We used just enough force to make you stop attacking us. Just enough? The alien asked. You mean you could have used more? Another pause. Admiral, can I ask you a question? Yes. When you attacked us with 50,000 ships, what did you think would happen? We thought you would surrender immediately. We thought your 500 ships would run away. And when you brought 500,000 ships, we thought we would crush your 5,000 ships easily. Dr. Jang's voice became very gentle. Admiral, what if I told you that those weren't our real military ships? The alien was quiet for a long time. Then, what do you mean? What if I told you that every battle you fought was against our training academy students? The recording ended. General Quan stared at Dr. Jang with wide eyes. Training academy students? He asked. The local defense patrol that fought the first battle? New graduates on their first assignment. The Solar Defense Network that fought the second battle? Second-year students on training exercises. The Terran Home Guard that fought the Combined Alliance? Third-year students doing their final exams. The Earth Defense Network that fought 10 million ships? Fourth-year students, about to graduate. General Quan sat down heavily in a chair. So the aliens have been fighting children? Young adults? Dr. Jang corrected. But yes, basically. None of our actual military veterans have been involved in any of these battles. Meanwhile, Commander Vash had moved his spy ship to the outer edge of the solar system. What he found there almost made him faint. Massive space stations. Huge fleets of ships that made the Earth Defense Network look small. Millions of humans in different uniforms. Older humans with scars and medals and the look of people who had seen real war. He recorded everything and sent it back to Elder Yethagotha with a message. Elder, I think we found their real military. And it's... He couldn't finish the message. Fleet Admiral Choi was having lunch with his staff when the report came in. Sir, Captain Hong said, our sensors show alien spy ships all around the system. Should we do something about them? No. Choi replied, eating his soup. Let them count our ships. Maybe then they'll understand Understand what, sir? That we never wanted to fight them in the first place. General Quan entered the dining room. Admiral, I just learned something interesting. The aliens think they've been fighting our real military, Choi laughed. Our real military. The colonial defense forces haven't even been told about these attacks. They're still out exploring new star systems and building new colonies. How many ships do the colonial defense forces have now? General Quan asked. About 5 million combat ships, Troy answered casually. Plus support vessels, supply ships, construction fleets. Maybe 20 million ships total. And the home fleet? The ships we keep here to actually defend Earth? About 50 million. Ships, but they're all in deep storage. We haven't needed them. General Quan nearly choked on his water. 50 million ships in storage? Well, yes. Plus the reserve fleet, the exploration fleet, the research fleet. Oh, and the ships we're building for next year. At the secret alien meeting, Elder Yuthagotha. Read Commander Vash's final report. His ancient mind, which had survived for millions of years, finally understood the complete truth. My friends, he said to the other alien leaders, I have terrible news, worse than what we already know. Admiral Felton asked, much worse. The humans we fought ... were students. Children learning how to fly ships. The room became dead silent. Students? Queen Morgana whispered, the human military has training academies. Young humans go there to learn how to be soldiers. The battles we fought were practice exercises for these students. Practice exercises? General Kresh's metal voice sounded weak. Yes, we have been defeated by human children doing their homework. Admiral Felton made a choking sound. If those were students, where are their real soldiers? Elder Yuthagotha showed them Commander Vash's recordings. Ships beyond counting, weapons beyond imagining. Humans who looked like they had been fighting wars since before some civilizations existed. My estimate, Elder Yuthagotha said quietly, is that the humans have at least 100 million warships? Possibly more. The alien leaders sat in stunned silence. Finally, Queen Morgana spoke. What do we do? We send a message to every civilization in the galaxy, Elder Yuthagotha replied. Tell them the truth? Tell them to never, ever attack the humans again. What should the message say? It should say, we attacked the humans 4 times. We brought 50,000 ships, then 500,000, then 2 million, then 10 million. Each time they defeated us easily. Today we learned the truth. We were fighting their children. Their real military has 100 million ships. Do not make our mistake. Leave the humans alone, forever. Back on Earth, Fleet Admiral Choi finished his lunch and walked to his office window. Below him, Earth looked peaceful and beautiful. Above him, the stars waited for humanity to explore them. Sir, Captain Hung said, joining him at the window, the aliens are leaving. All of them, they're going back to their homeworlds. Good, Troy replied. Maybe now we can get back to what we were doing before they interrupted us. What were we doing, sir? Building colonies, exploring new worlds, making friends with peaceful aliens. He paused.